OJ Simpson has appeared at a parole board hearing asking to be released from prison after serving 9 years behind bars. Simpson was acquitted of the 1994 murder of his ex-wife Nicole Brown and her friend Ron Goldman. But he is serving a sentence for a 2007 armed robbery and kidnapping in Las Vegas. He was trying to recover memorabilia.
I'd just like to get back to my family and friends. I did my time. I tried to be helpful to everybody.
Mr. Simpson, I do vote to grant parole when eligible.
The parole board unanimously agreed the 70-year-old can be released on October the 1st. So joining us now, Gloria Allred, the lawyer who represented Nicole Brown's family way back at Simpson's 1995 trial. Thank you for your time again this morning. Has the parole board made the right decision?
Well, I think that the parole board made a decision consistent with the way the law is currently in Nevada, but I think that the law is imperfect, it is flawed, and should be changed. And the reason I say that, Natalie and David, is because they could not take into consideration the 1989 conviction in which Mr. Simpson pled. He entered a plea of no contest, tantamount to guilty, of spousal battery of Nicole, in which he left her battered with a bruised eye, a cut lip, a swollen face, and a photo of that was shown at the civil trial. They could not consider that under present law. They could also not consider the fact that a civil jury in California decided and found and rendered a verdict that he was liable for the killing, the death of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ronald Goldman. May they rest in peace. That jury awarded punitive damages. Those are damages that are meant to punish the defendant. Punitive damages of $25 million. And punitive damages are only awarded when a jury decides that it shocks the conscience of the community, the conduct which the defendant is alleged to have engaged in. That Nevada parole board could not consider that. The law needs to be changed because they should not be able to engage in a legal fiction and exclude the reality of the legal record of the defendant.
So this is a fascinating case, fascinating life. We've all been mesmerised by the documentaries that have been made on Simpson's life and your role in it as well in trying to bring justice against him. But is Nevada in its parole laws a one out? Do other states, would they have allowed this to happen?
Many would also not have included a civil verdict. Okay. And that is why I say the law should be changed.
So it's not just Nevada?
No, but I think this is really an issue of victims' rights and the safety of the community, because they should be able to look at the possible risk of harm if a defendant is released into the community, and that risk should be assessed by also looking at what a jury may have done in a wrongful death case.
But hang on, this was a case, he was sent to jail for and has served his time for 9 years for armed robbery and kidnapping in this case. So this has nothing to do with the Nicole Brown case or the other charges he was on years ago, has it? So why should he be punished, in the face of the law on those charges?
Well, because I'm saying that I think the law should be changed for the future, because I do think if the defendant who is before the parole board has a legal record, a history of being found to have been a person who was caused the death of two human beings, which is what the civil jury in the case against Mr. Simpson found, then that's a risk factor that the jury should be able to consider in the future, because it bears on the possible safety of the community if the defendant is released from prison.
You obviously watched it this morning, the decision come down. What did you think of him? Is he a changed man?
Well, this is a man that sat there and looked the parole board in the eye and said that essentially that he had never used a weapon. Well, but the civil jury found that, in fact, he killed Nicole and Ron. He killed them with a deadly weapon, a knife. He slashed the throat of the mother of his children. He killed Ronald Goldman, is what the civil jury found. So for him to sit there and say he's never used a weapon on anyone, it justifies what a jury found.
And this is why your system's so bizarre, because he was found not guilty of the murder, but he has to pay all the millions of dollars to the family. Has he ever paid any money to the family?
Very little. Much of it is protected by laws because most of his income is pension fund, pension from the National Football League, pension from his acting career, from SAG-AFTRA. And pensions under the law cannot be touched. I think they should be able to be touched. So he gets to live very well afterwards. And if those are his only sources of income, they cannot be touched by the judgment.
I did not know that. It is a case that has captured us and our imagination. It's one of those things where when I saw the result today, I still said, he still killed her. And, you know, even though it had no relation to that particular
Well, as she
case.
said, the civil jury found that, and he's got to pay the millions, but he may never pay. And Gloria, thank you very much. It is fascinating. It has been for the world all these years. Thank you.
Appreciate your time.
Thank you, Natalie. Thank you, David.